Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Baruch
Can
Hashem.
you hear me?
Okay. Let me share screen here. Want to share some words of introduction?
Yeah, last week we talked about the pshat and what it means. B'chol d'rochecha da'ehu. He's learning that when you're in davening, you should be ma'ayin in davening. When you're learning, you should be ma'ayin in learning. In other words, you should try to feel each sort of derech or way that you're interacting with the kedusha of Hashem in the thing that you're doing. In other words, you shouldn't think about davening while you're learning and try to get that dvekis. Rather, take the dvekis which is available when you're learning, which is the dvekis of learning. And so that's what it means, b'chol d'rochecha. In each way, you should try to understand Hashem while you're doing the thing that you're doing, the derech of the thing that
Good. Okay, so up there, Koch Shakras Tova. I don't think we spoke about that yet. The power of good gratitude. Koch Gadol B'Nefesh. Great power in the soul. Shekfi Malas Tarasah, the more pure a soul is. Hidal Kosef Elotzasa Poal, the more it will desire, will yearn to bring out to fruition the power of Hakaras Hatov. In other words, Hakaras Hatov, the possessing Hakaras Hatov is an indication of Shlemus. If you match Shalem B'Dato, the more perfected a person becomes, his das Mismala Yisrash Muso Mimenu, does his does he become full of impressions of Hakaras Hatov? It's Nuazu. This calls it a movement. Before it was a koyach, now it's a tznua. I'm not sure if there's a difference between the two. It's one of the most important movements of the soul. Besod chukah, in the basis of its the way it works. Amatim, which dovetails lishleimus hametzius, with the perfection of reality. Bamitas hachachma elyona, with the truth of the higher chachma. How so? The kol mashetidal hatova, the greater the kindness, the kol mashetazmiyasa, and the more consistent it is. Ken kol mashiyuchak erech hamakabo menos, and the greater distance between the recipient and the giver. Kafi romus anosin hamitiv, on account of the loftiness of the giver who's doing the good. So should grow, though it doesn't necessarily work that way, the quest of Hakaras Hatov. So the more of the tova, the more long-term and consistent the tova, and the greater the mating should bring to greater Hakaras Hatov. Mitzad shleimus hametzius haklalis, in terms of the shleimus of reality in general, biyosha chochma yona mimita, saw in the appropriate understanding of higher wisdom and its truth. There's many Bali Machshava say this, that the chiyuv of perfecting ourselves in avoda comes out of the qualities of Hakaras Hatova. L'meitiv hamiti goruchu, to the true bestower of good. How do we repay Hashem's kindness? What he asks us by repay it is by going and doing that which is good and straight in the eyes of Hashem. And by paying attention to what's good for Hashem's creatures. The good things which go in the ways of a Kodesh Baruch Hu, yetivu be'einav, they just find favor in your eyes. V'aroim heim neged ratzon hakodesh, and the bad ones which are against ratzon kodesh, api seder malchus kedusha solamos v'hefke kedusha, based on understanding of the array of holiness, holiness is of the worlds and the opposites of holiness, Shabhem, within them. Ba'ofen Shakoras Atoibete. So I guess knowing the thing and the opposite is important to appreciating the thing. So you have to know what is according to Ratzon Hashem and what's not according to Ratzon Hashem. So and this way, Ba'ofen Shakoras Atoibete Pu'ula Mo'elas Mamish. The cursor will be effective. I think that it means is that Hashem, so to speak, wants it. And based on the perfection of the person of Hashem who arranged and set his ratzon. So too is the value of the fixing and the service, which comes from the person who goes in a positive derech, to fulfill or perfect his gratitude, to Akash Baruch Hu, who bestows good. The extent or power of the natural tendencies, the powerful tendencies. No, is it chukios or chazakos?
I think it says hachazakos.
Hachazakos, yeah. So the powerful tendencies is it should cause us to be drawn with our souls towards these powerful movements, I guess, for our God and for Torah, because of our Akaras Tova on Hashem's Chasad. But we are certainly too weak in our capacity to depict to ourselves even a small amount of the Chasadim of Hashem. They have to accustom ourselves slowly to this light. That our soul should not become weakened because it's so powerful. And there's no measure for the weakness of soul, which comes to it when the soul is barred from expressing or experiencing Hakaras Tov, which is the necessary conclusion, continuation. B'chuka in the natural course of affairs of the Bria Choka Emes Shabulas Hashem Emes, the course of truth of activities of Hashem which are true. So it seems a few ambiguous passages here, but it seems that Hakaras Tov is paramount importance and evidently one of the basic building blocks on that account of Yira, and that as a result, it has to be, and the way to do it is by finding ways in which you can emulate Ratzon Hashem and do powerful things for Akash Baruch Hu, which He wants us to do. And on the other end, that will give us strength. On the other hand, if we don't do the Ratzon Hashem, even after we perceived it, it's worse. So then it's going to be, it's going to cause a weakness of soul. Whereas the soul is spiritual, so spirituality, the soul will be weakened. The soul is weakened.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it's a major principle. To accustom yourself to this way of serving Hashem out of love, from recognizing the gratitude which is upon us. Even though there are many even greater ways to serve Hashem out of love. This is a basic one which you cannot refrain from. All the various different drachim are good. So it says that anybody who's koveh mokom l'tfilaso elokei Avraham be'ezro. Anybody who has a specific place to daven, Hashem, the God of Abraham, assists him. So how's that relevant here? A makom means a level, an advantage which a person has. Even though the service of Hashem, especially the service in the heart, which is tefillah, coming out of the greatness of Hashem and the loftiness of His honor. That He's the true good. It can't be perfected, or it can't be considered a reach of perfection if it reaches a certain level, and that's called perfection. On the contrary, kol mashi yosif das yosif avchana umalo. The more you add das, the more you'll be able to discern more things which are compelling words of Hashem and uplift yourself. Avot tefillah nikres chayishov. Tefillah is called temporary life. Takas a gankin l'seisi dechovas avoda mitzad hakaras hatova. So he says, this is a very big chiddush. He says tefillah also is based on hakaras hatov. Therefore, you're not supposed to accept for yourself or indulge yourself in some sort of other goodness before tefillah, and the essential goodness. Do not eat on the blood, meaning don't eat before you daven. You toss me behind your you cast me behind your back. Can yesh lo madrega miuchedes b'kol echad? Yesh madrega miuchedes b'kol echad v'ercha tova shebiyado meha echad hatov. So it's a different madrega, but in any event, tefillah has to emanate from hakaras hatov. V'avodah zeh mitzad hachesed. Moshe Bur Reish Kook Mussar Avicha Perek. The God of Abraham is in the assists the people who come to serve Hashem out of hakaras hatov. A person who's humble and pious. Don't make a mistake. You might think that the level called chasidus is only when you serve Hashem out of ava. No. Because this, in other words, I guess it's avodas ava is when you're drawn after Kodesh Baruch Hu, like metal is drawn after a magnet. It's compelling, and there's no exchange of it. So I obviously I was wrong. When he says a few lines up, rather it's even on the level of Yira. You're drawn like a magnet. You can't do without it, right? That's basic, but there's more. Then which level of avarabba, which is it transcends hakaras hatov. It overflows beyond hakaras hatov. There's nothing greater than knowing Hashem's name. What is greater than that? He is a truly humble. If he's a Yorei Hashem, he doesn't say, he doesn't say, well, this is not my level. I'm a Mabba. You're never going to be righteous before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem doesn't trust even the holiest people. A person always diminishes himself. Ava gankin mitzad godol chesed baruch hu. So here comes to get ava, which it seems to emanate, be ava rabba above and beyond, and emanate from him as opposed to reciprocity of hakaras hatov. No, you have to see it as a chesed of Hashem. So you a pasuk of Yitziyuro. And this is also more simple and close for him to be able to depict that he gets his ava out of chesed. Misham alos gulus and nefesh, and then you go up to the greatness of soul. Shemen midas ava rabba, miksad hakoros musis, because you recognize the greatness of Hashem. Zeh yeshafo beinov, he should be low in his eyes. B'tzacholein tamid, because always have to analyze. Komashu shalo v'atzmo, everything he possesses in himself. Einokim shefa chesed shel akel ato baruch hu, only a flow of chesed from Hashem. Chaytor mechabenes la'ava rabba shichai olam mitzad guso chachmoso yizbarach, and that is ava, perception gdula and chachma. Utfila chayisho mitzad shefa tovosav. But chesed yizbarach is because of the flow of kindness and chesed from Hashem. So evidently, what he's saying in this part is that we there's yira, which is essential. You can't just skip to ava. Yira is based on Hakoras Hatov. Ava is something beyond that, which goes beyond Hakoras Hatov and is something which emerges from you, not from your reciprocity towards Hashem. But you can't get to that stage without the stage of Yira. And that he said. Yeah?
I thought he's indicating that there's like two stages in Ava. There's Ava for Hakaras Hatov, and then after that there's Ava Rabba, which is where
I don't think so.
you come to love Hashem because you love Hashem. That's all.
Okay, it could be, but there's still Yira is also based on Hakoras Hatov.
Yes.
Yeah. So it could be a lower level of Ava is also based on Hakoras Hatov.
Right.
Although I think it's more, maybe that's the impetus, but it's really much more of a violent Chasidus, Lifnei Mishur Sadin, going beyond what a Hakoras Hatov requires. And then there's Ava Rabba, which is even further than that. Okay, we'll stop here for this evening.
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a good week.